welcome back to a very special episode of Mic Check, Avengers Infinity War.
I feel like I'm like Robin in the Lego Batman, like in the Batcave, like, oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. Just such a great film, and it's like good character stuff, good action stuff.
Yeah, and it's really rewarding because the film stands on its own and not just as a culmination of all these other films that have done a great job for the most part. It is still its own thing. And the reason that it is still its own thing, honestly, one of the biggest reasons is because of its villain.
Thanos is the central character here. We get to learn him, we get to know his backstory, and he's a very compelling villain, but he's very intimidating. No spoilers in this review.
But considering he's one of the only new characters, that's something that's really important, because every other character just needs to be reintroduced, but not just in any way. Like, the Russo brothers know how to not only reintroduce characters well. I'm not going to give any specifics, but most of the character
reintroductions
are like they serve as like, oh, that character's moment or this character's moment, which they all have. And I think that that's really telling when you can tie in moments, which there are many in this film, to characters versus oh, isn't that just cool?
I hope they remember
you. They do everything so well that it just, and even to continue on to another point, they pair up the characters so well because they know which characters people really want to see all together,
also,
and they know how to.
It may seem like a lot is happening too, and it seems like a lot of action is happening. It is. But there's a lot of character stuff in there too. Like, there's specific like dialogue that if you really think about it, is meaningful to the characters.
As opposed to a lot of what Joss Whedon did in the original Avengers, that was a lot of action-reaction, very Shakespearean kind of dialogue. But with this, it's the character.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
If you thought that they were badly portrayed or realized in the other films, in this movie they're gonna do exactly what you want and more.
and there's so much that happens in the middle chunk of the film. The drama and the journeys each of them go on are just as good as the big wow moments that
there's
you
a lot
experience.
of wow moments.
And there are 4 storylines that are going on in this with the various Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy, and they manage to tie them all together so well, it makes for one grand experience. You know?
If I had to nitpick and say a big negative, I would say that since this is a part 1, it is a standalone movie, it's complete. But since we have another film continuing it, more or less at part 2, we will see the actions or reactions of the ending of this movie based off in the next film. And so in this movie, you're like, wait, what just happened? Like, why did that happen? Why did he do this? Why did they do that? You're going to see in part 2, and so with that alone, it's like, well, we have to see and wait till next year, but for now, let's just sit back and enjoy the moment.
Like, this film's resolution, or not resolution, will be continued on, but it's not in the sense that, like you said, it's not in the sense of, like, Deathly Hallows, Breaking Dawn, or Mockingjay, where it clearly isn't a complete story, they just have to split it into 2 films.
Even those were adapted.
This is a complete thing.
It's a comic, but no one knew how this was going to turn out. It was unpredictable,
definitely
to
not.
say the least.
And I think that this is the point where we're not even going to say anything super, like, in detail. We're going to say a couple of sentences of what our favorite moments were. And if you've seen the film already, you'll know. But if you haven't, maybe you might want to turn it off. I think, for me, Thor, Groot, and Rocket going to a new place they were not currently was probably my and the theater's biggest reaction to what was going on.
We have seen this a lot of times, and
we've seen it 3 times.
I've seen it 6. Each time we've seen it, it's the same amount of cheerworthiness at the same moment too.
At the same moments,
if not more too. Yeah. My favorite moments at the end with what you're saying. There's a moment where they cut back and forth between 3 locations, with what I'll say Thor is doing, with Titan, or if I can say Thanos, where Thanos comes to meet someone, and then the Wakanda fight you all saw in the trailers is amazing.
Oh yeah, all of that kind of balances out really well, and it manages to create an emotionally resonant story with characters that I didn't think were that well portrayed in other films either. It is unique. No matter what you think of the film, it is unique because this has never been done before.
And
the type of
it's
crossover.
unique, not over bloated. That's what I love about it too. It's a unique experience, entertaining movie. It's not like DC, where it's like trying to be something
that wasn't
where
quite
it's
a whisper.
Trying to be something where it's not like, look at all the stuff we have, but not meaningful. This has both.
Yeah, it manages to somehow be like hitting you super hard in the face the first 5 minutes and never letting up, but still maintaining the pace, the tone, the consistency, the character, and the story that you need for this to be a film and not just a big experience.
I would say the pace is better than the tone. The tone is great. But there are like 1 or 2 moments where there is a little too jokey going on.
Yeah, the shifts
it's
are
good, but if they could just like cut away from some of the jokes, that would be better. But
yeah,
it's still a best MCU movie in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm still kind of figuring it out. All I know is that the Russo brothers always do a good job for me.
This also didn't feel like Civil War's airport scene stretched out. It felt like its own meaningful story, which I loved as well.
Yeah, there was no time wasted in this, and I think you can kind of see. Actually, should we give it our grades? I almost forgot to do that.
Oh, yeah,
I think it's very clear that we, for most Marvel fans, for most movie fans, really, if you've seen most or all
films,
you're gonna
want to wait in line.
This is a wait in line. Not only wait in line when you're seeing it in the theaters, wait in line multiple times
to buy it,
and wait in line to buy it as well. So I mean,
people like to say IMAX 3D movies. This is like repeat value.
This is the movie that you see in IMAX 3D, and you know so. As usual, before you go see a movie, check in with us first. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Who the hell are you guys?
I am Spider-Man.